All right, Malpal, let's head on over to the hotline as we welcome in the head coach of Frisco Wakeland. It is Coach Marty Secord. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How are things in beautiful Frisco, Texas?
I tell you, it's pretty windy today. Everybody in the Metroplex is feeling it. You go out there and it chills you to the bone. So glad we don't have a game tonight.
No kidding. And it's only going to get colder, so no fun there. But, Coach, I mean, first off, man, congratulations on an unbelievable season. Y'all went 9-3. You know, you make it to the third round of the playoffs. Those dummies over at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, we had you picked to finish sixth in your district before the season started. So I've got to ask you, as the guy that was able to see how the offseason went for you guys, in August, would you have thought that this team had that caliber to be able to have the season that you had?
Oh, absolutely, without question. I had no doubt. I really mean that sincerely because I go back to last November when it all started after the playoffs ended for us and got back in the weight room and out on the fields and just able to get started with them. And it was a group that just had a great commitment, and we just had to get the pieces in the right place. And we knew we were better than sixth, and so our kids worked with that motivation every day. And I appreciate those who gave it to us.
Well, we are glad to be able to provide at least a little something there.
Sure.
But was there, throughout the season, obviously you knew the squad that you had, you knew that they were capable of doing it, but is there a point that you can go back and pinpoint in the middle of the season of going, oh man, we're doing it?
Yeah, and we had so much adversity to overcome. We didn't even get to play our first game against Sulphur Springs with the COVID
Mm-hmm.
things, and then my wife and I were both out. I had a heart attack during the season.
Man.
It was wild. I mean, I just and that's just speaking on a personal note, but God took care of us, and the kids continue to work, the coaches continue to work, and we just knew we had some good senior leadership and that we had a good running back and a good young quarterback that was going to come along and some experience up front. And we knew we had a good defense. Our defensive line, I felt like, was one of the better defensive lines in the area and one of the best in the state. And then we had some guys that just stepped it up in the secondary and at linebacker, and all that, made a difference. And the key was just their attitude, towards everything we were doing. And so, I'm going to say that, going into district and we started out with a big district win, and we just kept getting better, and you could see us taking steps along the way, and the offense was progressing, and our defense continued to play well. And we knew if we had those combinations that eventually it would come together. And even in the games we lost in district, I mean, and look at our insane region that we play in. We did lose some of those games that looked like a big margin, but man, we were right there. If we just catch the football in the moments and we get some scores in the red zone, we got down there, but we couldn't score, and so we really started, focusing ourselves on red zone football offensively, and it helped us tremendously. And we were able to get some big wins and get in and make a run.
I want to go back to your defense for a minute because we knew that, I mean, you had 8 returning starters on the defensive side of the ball, that this was going to be the unit that you were able to really rely on while that young offense was able to figure it out. Was that kind of the message to your team heading into the season with those defensive guys of, hey, keep working your tail off, be the unit that we can rely and trust on while this offense kind of picks it up and gets going?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment, because again, we knew we had some good leadership there, and we had some runners and some hitters that could make plays and get the ball back for the offense. And our goal was just to create that balance that you're looking for and get your offense to come up to that same level, and then even hopefully at some point surpass it. And I think we peaked at the right time towards the end of the season offensively. And like I say, our defense played well all year, so it was a fun group, a great season, and one that you just feel like was a blessing, and all that you had to overcome. People have no idea, what happens from the inside out, but just a lot of things that reared its ugly head at times, and we just kept fighting through and pressing on. And we again, the teams we're playing they're not average teams; they're good teams. We play in a great district and a great region, so we knew it would be challenging. But I was just proud of our kids and our coaches for stepping up each and every week.
And then, obviously, yes, making that trek through Region 2 and everything that brings with you. We got to go back and talk about the game that I'm sure everyone in the Wakeland community will remember for years to come, and that's the Highland Park game in the area around. You win it on a 2-point conversion. The feeling that you had at the end of that game, and you're a guy who's been coaching for a long time, the feeling, is that going to rank up there in one of those top moments of your career?
Well, there's no question about it. You know, I mean, you can't have a win like that and it not mean something to you as a coach and the staff and the team. You know, and as a community and as a high school. I mean, our student body, it was an exciting night, but you'd never been there had you not beaten Woodrow Wilson, a good football team in by district that people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I believe they were underrated, and that was a tough ball game for us. But just to get into the Highland Park game and your kids believing that you had a great opportunity to win the football game and then making the plays to get that done, that was huge because, you know, those guys, and as I've said before, I have great respect for Coach Allen and I worked for him and I know him well. And what a great program that is, you know, and to be in a position to beat a great team like that was awesome. But, you know, I mean, act like you've been there before too, you know, and we played in some big games and, you know, so it was just another huge game, but it was a great win and one that, you know, nobody will ever forget. That's for sure.
We're talking to Frisco Wakeland head coach Marty Secord on Get Involved in the Conversation, #TF today. Coach, the guy who ran in that 2-point conversion in the Highland Park game, your senior running back, Jared White, this was a kid that we knew he was going to be special. He had been a foundation of your offense for quite a few years. Now that his time as a Wolverine is over, what did Jared White mean to this program and to your offense and being a leader?
Well, he was a great leader, no question about it. And just, I mean, you you can't outwork him. And you know, just every day in the summer and going all the way back again the last winter, he led the way. And you just knew that in that moment, that's who you wanted to, you know, get the ball to. And you knew those kids up front believed in what we were doing and believed that we could move those guys enough to give him an opportunity to get into the end zone. And so, you know, I mean, that was a huge deal, and no doubt Jared's an outstanding young man. I think he's got a great future ahead of him, and it'll be interesting to see where that future takes him.
And talking about another kid on your squad that seems to have a very bright future ahead of him, I want to talk about your sophomore quarterback, Brennan Meyer there. He comes in, he takes over the offense, leads you to an unbelievable season. What did you see from your sophomore quarterback over the course of the season that gives you hope for the great success that you could have in the 2 next years to come?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I see is leadership skills, and he has all those intangibles. I mean, he's got a great arm. He's just got great instincts. He knows where to go with the football. He studies the game and understands, you know, that he's got to stay within the realm of what we're doing. But you know, he just makes plays, and you know, you go down there and watch him, and you're around him when he's watching film and trying to get better, and people are working with him, and he takes coaching and just, you know, and then he puts in a lot of additional time himself, you know, just going to camps and working 7-on-7 and doing the things that a quarterback has to do, you know, in our area to be really good, because there's some great quarterbacks around here. But he's definitely going to be a great one, and he's off to a great start. But he knows better than anybody that he's got to continue with the work, and that's exactly what he'll do. But he's an awesome young man, no question.
And then finally, Coach, I know it's only January, but football coaches never actually shut off their football brains. So I have to ask you, when you're heading into the off season now, and obviously that season is behind you, you're looking forward towards the 2022 season. Heading into the off season, what are you seeing that you like and are very excited for the team that'll be rolling around in the 2022 football season?
Well, I see another group of kids. It'll be a new group of kids, but they're working, and they're doing exactly what we ask them to do right now, and just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, quicker, meaner, and smarter, as we call it, in the game of football. And so we're, you know, coaches are right now. We're talking scheme. We're looking at the clinics we're going to attend. I mean, it does really, truly never end, and you just want to try to play to your strengths. And so we're trying to figure out right now, you know, what will those strengths be, and how do we expand on offense? How do we, replace all those kids on defense? And so it's somebody else's turn. And, so we're just trying to get the ones that will play, in the future ready to go and hopefully find some surprises. So, every high school coach in the state would tell you the same thing, but that's what we're doing. It's the great focus on what are we going to do now?
Absolutely. He's Coach Marty Secord, the head coach of those Frisco Wakeland Wolverines. Coach, congratulations again on just an outstanding season. Y'all were a blast to watch, and hopefully we'll be seeing you around some of those coaching clinics coming up soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.